But there is a lot to be said for looking at your own data, kind of just trying to be as detailed as possible with involvement as far as, you know, structure, time of day. Like there's so many angles that we can look at with our data. And then the beauty of it is even if you take a loss, like if you're collecting really good data, it's not, I never viewed it as like a loss. If I take a loss today, I never really, like, I'm gaining more information that's going to help me refine my edge. Because what you do then is you take a large enough sample set, you know, say a month, or even, like, depending on how frequently you trade, maybe a quarter. You look at the quarter, and now you start to filter. All right, what was the top 10% of this quarter's trades, and how can I just simply 10x that? How can I chop the bottom 90%? It's just a game of constant refinement like that. And you start to notice little patterns, like, oh man, my best trades this quarter were near the edge of the structure. Like, you start to see data like that. Like, I remember I just talked to Rodrigo about this recently, but it happens. It's like an eye-opening light bulb moment for a lot of traders. Like, if you look at your data and then you start to see not only some of the perhaps lower quality setups that may have been taken, but also you start to look at, like, how many losses could have been avoided by just doing less, or just by kind of focusing on a different, maybe a different part of your edge, right? That becomes like a light bulb moment. But it does I mean, there's work involved, right? There's definitely work involved. You have, number one, you have to have the data. And then number two, you have to be willing to dig into it. So it's not easy in that regard. It takes time. Definitely takes time. Yeah, anytime, Rodrigo, anytime. That's a good sign of growth, though. Like, I look back at some of my old stuff, and it just makes me cringe. I'm just like, oh man, what were you doing? But I mean, that's just, there's no other way to look at it than just like growth, like growth. Because I used to share a lot more of my trades on Instagram. I don't really post trades there anymore, but I'll see it kind of in my history or whatever. It'll say, like, you posted this 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and even 3 years ago. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, I would either not take that trade today, or I just would have done it so differently. It's like you're a different person entirely. That's just growth, right? That's just growth. If you can't look back at your old stuff and cringe, probably not growing enough. I'll put it that way. But yeah, it's good. Record the trades, you know, just try and, I know it's time consuming, but the growth here in this industry it's really in just looking in the mirror, like being willing to look at your trades and collect as much data as you can, and then pattern recognition. Like I said, like, all right, tag your trades for a quarter. How many were done in the middle of the structure? Probably find that most of those are leading to minimal gains, if not losses, right? At that point, it becomes super easy what you need to do next. And so it's typically not, you know, it's not so much in like, oh, what time frame should I use for a signal or anything like that. Like, those little tweaks help, but we want to look at, like, what is the meat that is actually going to move our trading forward. So hope that little rant helps out. I know there's a valuable exercise just because I've done it so many times on my own. And then I know Mish can definitely attest to this. Rodrigo, I know, definitely can. So if you guys have questions about, you know, looking at your own data, or how to better record trading information, we could talk about that maybe in the next TMG. There's a lot of softwares out there, but if you just want to do it on your own, you can do that too. all the growth really is in the data. It really is.